or 879-4022.
Banana split for my baby, a glass of plain water for me. Banana split for my baby, a glass of plain water for me. Dispenser man, if you please, serve my chick a mess of calories. Banana split for my baby, a glass of plain water for me.
Welcome back here to What's Cooking Today, the nation's food, wine, restaurant, travel, entertainment show. Michael Horn with Eric Hines.
And Michael, one of our good friends from Food Network, Ellie Krieger, is on the line. She's going to give us all the lowdown on the nutritious benefits of olive oil. Ellie, welcome to our show.
Thanks, Mike and Eric. Great to be here.
Glad to have you. Ellie, of course, on Food Network's Healthy Appetite. She's also has Ellie's Real Good Food on PBS. She's a New York Times best-selling author. She's an award winner, author of 5 cookbooks. One of the great ones, You Have It Made, Delicious, Healthy, Do Ahead Meals. That was one just out last year. She's a columnist for the Washington Post. She speaks at events. She's a registered dietitian. She's earned her Bachelor's of Science in Clinical Nutrition from Cornell, a Master's in Nutrition from the Teachers College and Columbia University. You, Ellie, are the real deal, so let's get into it. Olive oil. I've heard about this from years from our buddy Chef Piero. This is liquid gold. Use it in place of butter. Come on. What are some of the myths about olive oil that we should know about?
Yeah, olive oil is one of the most delicious and healthy foods you could possibly have in your life. And there is a lot of confusion about it. I get a lot of questions all the time. So I'm here to clear it all up. And so basically, here's what you need to know. There's basically 2 kinds of olive oil. There's extra virgin olive oil, which is the olive oil that is most rich in flavor. And it's almost like wine because every different variety or blend has a different taste profile, everything from buttery to fruity to peppery to everything in between. And so it adds a ton of flavor to food. And depending on the kind you get, you might have a totally different taste, which is so lovely and fun to explore. And you can use it for, of course, dipping bread. You can use it for dressings and marinades. But you can use extra virgin olive oil for sautéing, and you can also use it for baking. And most people really don't realize that.
Why?
So that's
Why do they think they're wasting the qualities of the extra virgin on that when they would be adding to the baking and to the cooking by doing it, right?
Right. So the thing is, you are adding flavor. When you apply heat to extra virgin olive oil, you do dissipate some of the flavor elements, maybe the more subtle flavor elements, but still you're getting those health properties. You're getting all that wonderful nutrition, those monounsaturated fats, and so you can absolutely cook with it. So I love sautéing vegetables in extra virgin olive oil. I think it tastes, really robust and beautiful. But also there is regular olive oil, and then that has more subtle flavor, less overall powerful flavor. It's more economical, and also it's better at very high heat. So for high heat cooking, for roasting, you would use regular olive oil, which is often called pure olive oil or classic. So that's where sometimes it can get confusing because you see all these different names. But that's all basically regular olive oil.
But that's the
thing
heat.
is,
the heat factor is good. So when you're cooking, it's the heat factor because you don't want the olive oil to break down. So the pure, the classic, the regular olive oil, better sometimes for those high temperatures then, correct?
Exactly, if you're cooking super high temperature. But do know that you can saute even on like a medium-high heat with regular olive oil as well, or baking, of course, too, with extra virgin. But regular olive oil, you can do higher heat, medium-high, pretty much any temperature that you do home cooking with, you can do with the regular olive oil. And the thing is that for me, as a food lover, as a dietitian, I'm always looking for simple things to do to make things healthier and more flavorful. So any olive oil has monounsaturated fats. But the extra virgin not only has monounsaturated fats, which are heart healthy, it also has antioxidants. So the big message, though, is that you can pretty much swap olive oil for any fat in a recipe, even butter. So in quick breads, in muffins, I use olive oil. I use pure olive oil, which has a more light, lighter taste, and I'll use that in those recipes, and it comes out amazing, and it's better for you. A simple swap that makes it so much better for you. So I think that's really important to note.
Okay, so there's extra virgin and virgin olive oil. Then there's pure classic olive oil, as you mentioned. So you said the two basic types, extra virgin and regular olive oil. But let's talk about, isn't there olive oil? Isn't there like a light-tasting olive oil, too, that you can get sometimes that you can find at the supermarket?
Yes, exactly. So light-tasting olive oil is basically regular olive oil that I'm talking about in that category, but it's actually extra light-tasting, so it's like neutral in flavor. So I just made a lemon poppy seed bread, and I really wanted the lemoniness to come through very brightly, and then I used the light-tasting olive oil there because that allowed it to shine through, but I still got those monounsaturated fats in there. So that's kind of cool.
Where do we go to get more
info? Grilling.
And for grilling, too, which is good. I want to do that, and we want to use it in place of butter. Where do we get more information? What's the website?
So go to aboutoliveoil.org for more information, aboutoliveoil.org. And I have a couple of recipes on there, and their blog has a ton of information, so definitely check that out. And, I want to make sure you guys are storing your olive oil correctly. Make sure you store it in a cool, dark place, and make sure that it's covered tightly. And then it's going to last. You're going to get the optimal quality for a longer amount of time.
Ellie Krieger, you're the best. You're welcome here anytime. Give us that website one more time.
aboutoliveoil.org.
Ellie, thanks for being with us. I know you got to go to another interview, so we appreciate you taking the time to explain to us.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate your having me.
We love Ellie. Thank you, Ellie, so much. Yeah, that is good, Eric. I'm telling you. And it's good to know that you use the regular olive oil. It has the higher heat content in it. And that's the stuff you use when you're grilling on the barbecue or putting it in the pans or whatever. Extra virgin olive oil, and the extra virgin is a really high in tasting, as she mentioned, like getting a different bottle of wine. And then the classic olive oil, good for your cooking as well, too. Good stuff.
We reported on the show not too long ago, it's also important to know your brands because there was a recent controversy where some of the brands that claimed that they were 100% extra virgin olive oil actually were not, and they mixed and diluted their olive oil with other oils. So definitely know your brands is important as well.
That happens a lot, so you're right about that. Know the brand, somebody you can trust, and that's the way to go. I just kind of use extra virgin all the time. I'm going to have to get a little regular olive oil. Start, what I like to do? I like to paint the hot dogs with the olive oil. So I'm going to try just the regular, which is more of a heat there instead of I may have been using extra virgin and not knowing it. Maybe I want to use a regular olive oil on there, but it sure makes those hot dogs. It's the tip from Paul Prudhomme. It's not mine. I've just stolen it. I love the late, great Paul Prudhomme. Paint those hot dogs with olive oil on the grill. They come out looking just a golden, wonderful brown. Even guys like Bob Henry eat them. I'm telling you, they're delicious. I'm telling you, the Chef Radio Network gives you another tip here on What's Cooking Today.
For me, it was the big S class from